Hey, welcome back, and this is the part 2 of the turbo conversion for the RB25DE. For the previous video, I removed the exhaust system. So right now, I'm going to drain the oil and then drain the coolant as well too. So let's go ahead and remove the cap. Hopefully I don't make a big mess here. So let's go ahead and drain the oil and the coolant. I just got done draining the oil and put a new oil filter. At this time, I'm just waiting for the coolant to be drained. So while I'm waiting on that, I'm gonna take the front bumper out, take it out, and that way we can get access to all the intercooler piping with the front mount and all the accessories. So yeah, it's coming along, so let's go ahead and get that started. Now the front bumper is out, and I'm planning to do some trimming on the front bumper. That way it could give me more clearance for the front mount intercooler. And as far as the coolant, everything is complete drained out and the plug is tight. Then the next thing I'm going to do is, let's set this to the side. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to install the cosmetic gasket for the turbo manifold. So here's the part. All right, and here is the part number. So today we're going to install the gasket and the turbo manifold and maybe the turbo. That is something that I've been waiting for a while now. And so yeah, also a good friend of mine, he had an extra oil return connector, and thank you, Ryan. Oh man, these are parts that are very hard to find these days. So if you guys have some spare parts, keep them. Yeah, so as far as the connector, it's gonna go to this bolt right here. All right, this is the oil return, this is the oil feeder. And so once we mock up the turbo and all the lines, then we're gonna go ahead and do the coolant as well for the coolant feeder. On the previous episode, I mentioned that the bottom bolt is for the coolant return. I'm sorry, and that is incorrect. So a friend of mine said that for the coolant return, I can use the coolant line from the intake manifold. So both of these are the coolant line, so I can use one of the line here and just, you know, split in half with the T with the hose back to the turbo. All right, so good thing that we have that resolved. And yeah, let's get this thing started and slap that turbo in there and call it a day. Once the gasket is in place, there's only one way. You can't miss it. So at this point, I'm ready to install the turbo manifold. So let's go ahead and do that. the turbo manifold is installed. Everything goes in nice and easily. All the bolts and washers has been nice and tight to the spec. So the next step is going to install the turbo gasket and the turbo itself. So before we do that, I'm going to apply some Teflon tape onto this connector. That way it will go to the block. So let's go ahead and do that. It should look like when you put the Teflon tape, you don't have to put a lot, just one round, that's it. And so I'm going to remove that bolt and install this connector in. Once the connector is installed, and that's how it look like. There you go, guys. The turbo is on. This turbo is the HKS GT2530 Kai Barbarian. This turbo, it's nothing fancy. It's just old school stuff, and it's capable up to 320. And for my setup, for drifting purposes, I think that's good enough. My main focus is to have a good responsive. So I'm sure this turbo is perfect for this RB25. So it's old school stuff, and a lot of people have great response from this turbo. So good thing that, you know, a friend of mine has one and is not using, and everything's good. No shaft play, there's no oil leak whatsoever, and he upgraded to a bigger turbo. And talking about upgrade to bigger turbo, maybe in the future I'm gonna upgrade the manifold to top mount and with a bigger turbo. So probably like 350 to 400 horsepower. So at this time, this turbo is just a mock-up, because today I'm gonna drop off this turbo to my buddy shop, and he's gonna custom fabricate a bracket for my HKS actuator. So today we're gonna go to his shop and drop this turbo off and get that done. That way I can proceed and do everything else. And yeah, so far so good. It's coming along. And so the next thing, I want to focus, install the turbo elbow, goes to the downpipe, and with the custom exhaust system. I'm planning to do a straight pipe all the way through, about 3 inches. And then the next step will be the intercooler piping. And so I'm missing some couplers, and I'm waiting on the couplers and at least like 1 or 2 aluminum pipe too. So yeah, I'm gonna end this video right here, and do me a favor, hit the like and subscribe. That will help me a lot, and I see you guys next time. See you guys.